Alrighty guys, so just got done getting this thing detailed and cleaned up. Check out the wheels. Look at how spiffy those are. So they did the exterior and the interior, and the reason I'm doing that is because someone's coming to buy this thing and they're going to be here tomorrow. So they're actually from out of state. They're flying in here. I got to pick them up from the airport tomorrow, and they're going to come and get this thing and take it home. So this was our daily driver for like 10 years, and we raised all of our kids in this vehicle, and it was pretty messy just from normal kid stuff. So wanted to clean that up for them. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna change the oil on it, put a new oil and filter on it, and go drive it. I put a 93 tune in it because he's got to drive it home and might not have E85 everywhere. So yesterday I did some driving around and kind of reworked the tune, set it up for 93, so now he has a separate 93 tune, and the other couple tunes that I had in there for like 15 pounds and 20 pounds, 23 pounds, whatever it was. So then after that, I'm gonna go fill the tank back up, and then we should be ready to go. Good thing is he is familiar with the LS platform and knows what he's getting himself into with this vehicle, and he's familiar with tuning with HP tuners, so he definitely understands what he's getting himself into with this vehicle, which is a good thing. Selling vehicles like this, I will say I'm always really paranoid about who I sell them to, because you could get somebody that buys it and they're in like way over their head, and that could just end up bad for everybody. So I'm gonna run to the store quick, get some oil, and then we'll go drive it. So I don't know if you can see me or hear me, but I'm just driving the truck. So I got done with the oil change and got all that stuff done. Now I just want to go drive it. I've been driving it for about a half an hour now, and now what I want to do is I'm just letting it sit and idle there. So I haven't really done a lot of, I guess, like stop and go driving. It's all kind of like right to my destination, and a lot of highway driving, stuff like that. So I do drive it in the city a little bit. But he's going to be driving this thing 15 hours, so I'm just kind of running through everything, making sure that there's not going to be any issues. And right now what I'm doing is I'm just going to let it sit and idle there. Probably going to let it sit and idle for like 15-20 minutes and not touch it, just to see if it starts to warm up or do anything weird. Cruising temp, it's like 200, 201 on the highway, and the trans temp was down to 108. So that True Cool 40K, I'm cruising on the highway and lock up in the trans temp is 108. Yesterday I was driving and it was at 112. So yeah, now I'm gonna go back and I'll check the temp again. When I left it was at 216, but it was holding 216 exactly for over 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go back and check what it's at right now. So yeah, 216, the time on there is 228. That's wrong, but it's been holding 216 for probably 8 minutes now, 7-8 minutes. Oil pressure is 42 psi. Trans temp sitting here is 125. Idling right at 1,000. And this is with the 93 tune, and I've only driven it on E85, so this is basically a brand new tune with the 93. So another reason I just kind of want to verify stuff. So it's been 30 minutes. So I did get up to 217. I blipped the throttle a little bit, like that, when it was at 217 after 20 minutes. And I blipped the throttle a little bit like that, and then the temp came all the way back down to like 211. See how it's not starting to come back down now? So probably just a circulation thing. Yeah, there you go, 212. Intake air temp is turning yellow. It's starting to get a little warm just from sitting here, heat soaking. So I'll go drive it. Where are we at for trans temp? 129. That didn't really do anything. We're sitting right at 212, like within a 5-degree range for 30 minutes sitting here idling. So that should be pretty good. Oil pressure still at 41. All right. Alright, so we're just cruising on the highway now. It's actually like 3 minutes later. 50 pounds of oil pressure. About 70 miles an hour cruising. Trans temp 128. Cold temp 202. thing. It's five minutes later, and the trans temp is down 13 degrees. All right, so on my way to the airport, we're gonna go pick up the buyer of the truck. So he flew in from out of state, and he should be landing right now. So I'm driving there. I'm gonna pick him up in the Escalade, and then we'll do the paperwork and stuff at home, and he'll be on his way. Okay, so the Escalade is gone. So it's a little bittersweet because, like I said, that truck was in our family for about 8-9 years now. So we got that truck when my son was 1-ish, and before the other 2 were born. So that's been the kid hauler for like the last 8-9 years, and then it was the project for a little bit. So now that thing is gone, moving on, and I don't really want to give away too many details, but it's a 15-hour drive to where he's going, and he's been gone for about 7 hours already, and I haven't heard anything, so that's a good sign. So a lot of people have been asking what's the next project, because I have been posting some stuff on Facebook about this. A lot of people saw that it was for sale, and I actually sold it within 8 hours of posting it. So posted it, there was a lot of questions. I had like 28 people message me that day within 8 hours. And there was like 3 or 4 people that were fighting over it. And one guy even offered me more than what I was asking because he realized someone else sent a deposit for it. So 8 hours, had the deposit. He flew in today and drove it home. So as you can see, this thing's been kind of neglected. Obviously, it's real dusty and dirty, and I've just been kind of using it for a storage bin. I do have a 20-gallon fuel cell in this box. I originally bought this fuel cell for the Mustang, and it was too big to fit in the trunk. So I need a project to put this fuel cell in, so I think I'm going to put it in the truck. Because, you know, if you buy the wrong part, you have to just build a whole new car. So idea with this one is I think I might go back to the 2-wheel drive, take the 4-wheel drive stuff back out, and maybe go to like a coilover, like an adjustable coilover shock in the front, and then do like a drag radial and skinnies setup, and try to make this maybe more drag oriented. So the big thing with this one really is, like, I originally did this swap as a budget swap, and then I kind of just added stuff to it over time and as I was learning things, and it was like before I could TIG weld, so there's a lot of stuff that's not done very well in here, and it was just kind of added, and it was functional but never really done right. So a lot of stuff I'm not really happy with that I've learned how to do better over the years, so I want to rip everything out and redo it all. So that's going to be the project over the winter, starting now, basically in October. So we're getting a lot of time, and we already have a lot of good parts. We have a 4L80, we have the twins, we have the Terminator already on this. I would like to redo the manifolds, maybe a different motor, because this is it's a Gen 4 6-liter. It's like the Gen 3 with Gen 4 internals, but this block is actually broken from when I broke a transmission, so I might redo that or go with a completely different motor. Maybe do ProLS forged bottom end, try to make this thing really solid to where I never have to think about it, and just go for the whole high power, reliable, streetable, maybe even put air conditioning, that kind of stuff back in it. And may go as far as putting a cage in it or some kind of roll bar or something inside of it. The problem with the roll cages is I don't really like how they come out the back window or in the top, and then they have the big bars coming back. So I don't really like that, but maybe I just need to get over that if I actually want to get serious about making this thing go fast. Basically, I feel like the last couple projects, like the Mustang and the Escalade and the 350Z, I put a lot of time into, I guess, learning how to make things better with those. I never feel like I really put that much attention into this and making this better. So this is going to be my project that I'm going to keep for a long time. So I feel like if I'm going to put the energy into something, it should be something that I'm going to plan to keep and that I can actually be happy with. So like the Mustang, I was happy with that. Escalade, happy with that. 350Z, happy with that. And then this, I never really had that feeling that I was really proud of this thing. So, and this is the one I should be keeping and making it into a vehicle that I feel like I'm proud of. So that's kind of the mission. Let me know what you think. And it's hard at the end.